The Discontinuity Thesis. For decades, economists and technologists have deployed the same reassuring narrative whenever new technology threatens existing jobs. This time isn't different. Every technological revolution has displaced workers temporarily, but ultimately created more jobs than it destroyed. The printing press, the steam engine, computers, people always panic, but human adaptability prevails. This narrative has become so entrenched that questioning it seems almost heretical. Yet the emergence of artificial intelligence demands we abandon this comforting historical framework entirely. We are not witnessing another incremental technological shift within capitalism. We are witnessing capitalism's termination as a viable economic system. This is the discontinuity thesis. AI represents a fundamental break from all previous technological revolutions. Historical analogies are not just inadequate, they are categorically invalid for analyzing this transition. The P versus NP inversion. To understand why this time is different, we must examine what AI actually does to the structure of knowledge work. Computer scientists classify some problems into two categories: P problems, easy to solve, and NP problems, hard to solve but easy to verify. Finding a university course schedule with no conflicts is NP, extremely difficult to create. But checking whether a proposed schedule actually works is P, relatively simple verification. For centuries, human economic value was built on our ability to solve hard problems. Lawyers crafted legal strategies, analysts built financial models, doctors diagnosed complex cases, engineers designed systems. These were NP problems, difficult creative and analytical work that commanded high wages. AI has inverted this completely. What used to be hard to solve, NP, is now trivial for machines. What remains is verification P, checking whether AI output is actually good. But verification, while easier than creation, still requires genuine expertise. Not everyone can spot when an AI-generated legal brief contains flawed reasoning or when a financial model makes unfounded assumptions. This creates what we might call the verification divide. A small percentage of workers can effectively verify AI output and capture the remaining value. The vast majority cannot, rendering them economically obsolete. The market bifurcates between elite verifiers and everyone else. Why historical analogies? Fail previous technological revolutions, automated physical labor, and routine cognitive tasks while leaving human judgment and creativity as refuges. Factory workers became machine operators. Accountants moved from manual calculation to computer-assisted analysis. The pattern was always the same. Technology eliminated the routine, humans moved up the value chain to more complex work. AI breaks this pattern by automating cognition itself. There is nowhere left to retreat. When machines can write, reason, create, and analyze better than humans, the fundamental assumption underlying our economic system, that human cognitive labor retains lasting value, collapses. The steam engine replaced human muscle power but created new jobs operating steam-powered machinery. AI replaces human brain power. What new jobs require neither muscle nor brain? The false optimization. Recognizing the inadequacy of historical analogies, some analysts propose what appears to be a more sophisticated model: perpetual adaptation. In this vision, humans become surfers, riding waves of technological change, constantly learning new skills, orchestrating AI systems, and finding value in the gaps between AI capabilities. This model is not optimistic. It is a more insidious form of dystopia that replaces clean obsolescence with chronic precarity. The surfer metaphor reveals its own brutality. Surfers don't own the ocean, platform owners do. All risk transfers to individuals while platforms capture value. Learning velocity becomes the key skill, but this is largely determined by biological factors like fluid intelligence and stress tolerance that are unevenly distributed. A hierarchy based on innate adaptation ability is more rigid than one based on learnable skills. Most perniciously, This model demands that humans operate like software, constantly overwriting their skill stack. Permanent entrepreneurship is a euphemism for the systematic removal of all stability, predictability, and security. It's the gig economy for the soul. System-level collapse. The implications extend far beyond individual career disruption. Post-World War II capitalism depends on a specific economic circuit. Mass employment provides both production and consumption, creating a virtuous cycle of growth. Workers earn wages, spend them on goods and services, driving demand that creates more jobs. AI severs this circuit. You can have production without mass employment, but then who buys the products? The consumption base collapses. Democratic stability, which depends on a large, comfortable middle class, becomes impossible when that middle class no longer has economic function. We're not experiencing technological adjustment within capitalism. We're witnessing the emergence of a post-capitalist system whose contours we can barely perceive. Current institutions are designed for an economy of human cognitive labor, have no framework for handling this transition. The Zuckerberg moment. Mark Zuckerberg recently announced Meta's plan to fully automate advertising. AI will generate images, write copy, target audiences, optimize campaigns, and report results. Businesses need only connect their bank account and specify their objectives. This eliminates entire industries overnight. Creative agencies, media planners, campaign managers, analytics teams all become redundant. There's no someone using AI in this model. There's just AI, with businesses connecting directly to automated platforms. This is the discontinuity thesis in action, not gradual change within existing systems, but the wholesale replacement of human cognitive labor with machine intelligence. No viable exits. The standard counter-arguments collapse under examination. New job categories will emerge. How many people do AI trainers and robot therapists actually employ? Even optimistic projections suggest thousands of jobs, not millions. Humans will focus on emotional work. This is the artisanal economy fantasy. Some premium markets will exist, but not enough to employ hundreds of millions of displaced knowledge workers. Regulation will preserve jobs. Global competition makes this impossible. Countries that handicap AI development lose economically and militarily. AI has limitations. These limitations shrink monthly. Even if AI only displaces 80% of cognitive work, that still constitutes economic catastrophe. The mathematics of obsolescence. We're left with simple arithmetic. If machines can perform cognitive tasks better, faster, and cheaper than humans, and cognitive tasks form the basis of our economic system, then that system must collapse. This isn't speculation. It's mathematical inevitability. The only meaningful questions are temporal. How quickly will this unfold? What will replace capitalism? How much chaos will mark the transition? The discontinuity. Thesis offers no solutions because the situation admits none within existing frameworks. We cannot upskill our way out of comprehensive cognitive obsolescence. We cannot augment our way to relevance when the augmentation itself becomes autonomous. This isn't pessimism, it's recognition. The sooner we abandon comforting historical analogies and confront the genuine discontinuity we face, the sooner we might begin imagining what comes next. The old world is ending. The new one hasn't yet been born. And in this interregnum, a great variety of morbid symptoms appear. The symptoms are everywhere. We're just afraid to call them what they are